On today's show, we spotlight a new food spot here in town.
We also sit down with a UNLV student making a statement through art. All that and more coming up on Studio G.
Welcome back to Studio G. I'm Valentina Menchikov.
And I'm Jerron Turner. Thank you for joining us.
One of the biggest trade shows will be returning in person. The Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, was held back in January as an all-digital show. They've recently announced that next year they will offer the latest technology and products and services in person at the Las Vegas Convention Center and digitally.
COVID-19 has impacted so many aspects of Las Vegas, but did you know services like Uber and Lyft have been struggling? Visitors are waiting too long for rides. Studio G reporter Ariel Mack has more on this growing concern.
Since the start of the pandemic, drivers for rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft dwindled. Las Vegas visitors and locals have near impossible times finding rides. Danielle Anderson went to Twitter to express her frustrations. She tweeted, "A friend flew in last night and said hundreds of people were stranded at the airport trying to get rides. People are waiting longer for rides, ranging from 30 minutes to 2 hours. As summer approaches, visitors are worried about the wait times for Uber or Lyft. People are advising visitors to take taxis as it's nearly impossible to find a ride. The shortage of drivers can be attributed to the unemployment benefits and the risk of infection from COVID-19. Uber may be to blame for the decline in drivers as they aren't properly compensating. Although this issue doesn't exclude other cities, Las Vegas is known for their heavily populated rideshare drivers." Reporting for Studio G, I'm Ariel Mack.
Next time you go down to the Strip, don't forget about those lengthy wait times for your ride.
From one new spot to another, this local small business is selling vegan food on the go. Our reporter, Maria Debut, gives us an insight.
If you ever find yourself downtown and you want to grab some vegan food, Vintage Vegan Diner just opened up their vending machine.
Vintage Vegan Diner is a small business that sells vegan food at affordable prices, owned by Autumn and Taylor. The couple first started their business by delivering around the city and curbside pickup. Now they've opened up for the first time ever a vegan food vending machine at Ferguson's downtown Las Vegas. Vintage Vegan Diner's main goal is to make vegan food affordable and accessible to minority communities who believe being vegan is not achievable because they can't afford it, or the misconception that vegan lifestyle only belongs to a richer demographic.
It was extremely important for us to kind of put that message out there that our vegan food is for everybody. I think,
And break that stigma.
yeah, there's definitely a stigma that vegan looks like a certain type of person, a person of a certain class with a certain amount of money. And I think that us just being who we are kind of breaks that stigma. Being business owners who are both Black, a woman and a non-binary person, there's just not that representation when it comes to veganism.
Autumn and Taylor feared whether the community was going to accept them or not, but they're surprised and grateful for the continuous support and positivity they're receiving from the community and other small businesses around the city.
Pleasantly surprised at the great reception that we got from our community, especially as Black individuals. We do have that, that fear of people not accepting us or not appreciating our product and what we have to offer just based on the color of our skin. We feel like people who support us support the same views and, who stand for social justice and things like that. That's what really moves us. And I feel that as a community, when a lot of people were starting to awaken and broaden their knowledge of social injustice, right, and things that are going on in the world, they really have to reflect and look in their own communities and see where there's disparity, where there is lack of, equality or even opportunity for people who look like us to start a business,
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Maria Debut.
How did you feel about that food? Look good to you?
I think I'm going to go ahead and try it. I'm a big advocate for supporting small businesses, especially now, and it looks pretty good. I like the pink. The pink is very attractive for people to go and try.
Yeah, I'm not a vegan person, but you know what? Hashtag support black businesses. Anyway, good news for animal advocates in Nevada. City council members plan to vote on legislation that will protect animals from convicted animal abusers.
The Las Vegas City Council has postponed voting on legislation that would ban those convicted on animal abuse from owning a pet for up to 5 years or more. Under fire is the law that allows Nevada residents to chain up their pets outside for up to 14 hours. In Nevada, temperatures range year-round, where temperatures can reach up to 105 degrees in the summer. If passed, the proposed ordinance would require convicted animal abusers to surrender their pets. The vote has been postponed until May 5th, which is only a week away. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Valentina Menshikov.
The Las Vegas City Council will vote on the ordinance next Wednesday, hopefully looking in the safety of our city pets. After the break, more updates have been sign that might affect you.
All that and more coming up on Studio G.
For generations, America's veterans have stepped up and made great sacrifices to protect our families and our freedoms. But today, with the COVID-19 crisis, many veterans are struggling just to get by. Thousands have lost their jobs or closed their businesses, leaving them unable to provide for their families or get the care they need. More than 50% are 60 or older. Many have disabilities and chronic health conditions. It's time for all of us to step up to help those who have given so much. At DAV, we've been helping America's ill and injured veterans for 100 years. But right now, the need is greater than ever. Give to the DAV COVID-19 Relief Fund and help us provide critical services and financial assistance to veterans who are struggling. Go to dav.org/helpvets or call now. Your donation will make a life-saving difference for our nation's heroes.
President Biden signed an executive order yesterday that grants certain workers a pay boost. Studio G reporter Jonathan Corral gives us a quick breakdown.
That will require federal contractors to pay their employees a minimum wage of $15 an hour starting March 30th, 2022. Currently, the minimum wage for federally contracted employees sits at $10.95 per hour. This executive order will also eliminate the option for employers to pay tipped federal employees $7.65 an hour in order to raise it to the same level as other federal employees by 2024. The pay increase will boost the incomes of hundreds of thousands of federally contracted workers and will help to at least slightly decrease the alarming rate of income inequality. Biden had proposed a federal $15 minimum wage for all workers as part of his $1 trillion coronavirus relief package, but this was taken out after the package went through the Senate. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Jonathan Corral.
While this is great news for federal employees, let's hope more is done to ensure higher wages for all workers.
The White House is proposing a new tax plan that will raise the taxes on the top 0.3% of Americans in regards to capital gains. This means those who make their income from the stock market will now have to pay a similar tax rate to the middle-class Americans. The city of Albuquerque has hired a professional collection agency to settle debt to the city from the Trump campaign. Trump held a re-election campaign in September 2019 in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which forced Albuquerque to shut down various roadways along with its city hall for multiple days. It also forced local police officers and other security staff to work overtime. The city is asking for $211,000, but are skeptical that the money will deliver. Caitlyn Jenner has announced her campaign for California governor over the weekend. Jenner describes herself as a fiscal conservative but socially liberal. Caitlyn has been very vocal about her disagreement with how current California Governor Newsom has handled the pandemic and the lockdown, which contributed to her bid for governor. Last Thursday, the Senate passed the COVID-19 Hate Crime Act with a 94-1 vote. The bill will now head to the House of Representatives for its final step before potential passing. The bill is aimed to provide better educational resources to law enforcement and establish a hate crime-related hotline along with other support services for victims. That's all I have for today's national updates. Now let's send it over to Dejan for today's weather.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today we have a marvelous day. As you can see, we got about 70 degrees sunny. Yes, 82 is our high and 57 is our low. So please be expecting summer-like weather. Anything of that such should be perfect and fine for you guys. Well, moving out to the nighttime, we got about 78 degrees to look forward to, clear skies with a low of 68. So make sure a little bit towards the midnight, probably grab a little sweater or anything. Get ready for your bed. Moving out into the valley, we have Centennial, we have North Las Vegas, where we're averaging about 75 degrees. We've got about 73 degrees. We got about 72 low in Las Vegas, down to Green Valley and Southern Highlands, looking about 72. Boulder City, 71, and Henderson, 74. So we're pretty much staying in that summer-like weather to have you guys looking forward to the pools and beaches. Wednesday, we got about 82 degrees, 90 on Thursday, and we also have Friday, which is 97 degrees. That's a high. So make sure you bring your waters out, water ices, and forward to the weekend. We got 97 degrees and 90 high to look forward to a beautiful start of our summer. And that's all we have for you guys today. I'm going to send it right back to Studio G, and we'll be back in a second.
Up to someone. Could be parents, teachers, or coaches. They give and give and give, and then they give some more. Their impact, immeasurable. Their sacrifices, too many to count. So to all the mentors in our lives who helped us get to right here and now, thank you.
I'm always the first one up. I'm always up for a challenge. I'll overcome any obstacle. I don't believe in limits. I refuse to be average.
Welcome back to Studio G. There are many signs and banners hanging on the walls around campus, but none of them are making as big of a statement as this one.
It's a big piece of art with an even bigger message. Down the main walkway of UNLV on the side of the CBC building hangs this freshly made digital BLM artwork. Created by UNLV student Dexter Emery, who submitted it for a contest but had no idea that it would ever be this big. Literally.
So I knew it was going to be big, but I still had my expectations changed when I actually saw it in person.
Emery says the artwork took 5 full days to complete, and he felt inspired by George Floyd's story, as well as the countless others that have been victims of police brutality. The artwork pays tribute to many of those victims through the list of names, all combined together to spell out the B, L, and M letters behind the 4 individuals holding their fists in the air. Another calculated decision, Emery says.
I wanted all of them to hold a fist to show this is a strong movement. We're all in this together.
He went on to say that for him, the artwork is a reminder of the work that needs to be done in our community when it comes to equality and inclusion. And that is the message he hopes everyone gets when they walk by.
I want them to be inspired, and I want them to think, who are these people? Let me go look up, let me go see what I can do and see how I can make a difference.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Vanessa Lauren.
And now joining us here in the studio to talk more about the art piece and his story is the artist himself, Dexter Emery. Dexter, welcome in.
Oh, what's up?
So, how long have you been an artist?
I've been an artist for about 13 years, and that's when I eventually started trying to take it serious and look through the world of art.
So, what made you choose UNLV and art as a major?
I mean, at first I was looking through all colleges thinking, what should I go and what should I pursue? And then I just thought, you know, I have friends here and it's pretty close. It's in-state tuition, so I just came to art there, and it's been pretty great.
So you're from Las Vegas?
Yeah.
What part of the city from?
Well, actually, technically, I'm not technically from. I've been here like since 4. I came from Chicago, but ever since then, I actually don't know.
Chicago, good city right there, man. So, have you ever had a piece published, like something like this before?
This is my first time, so I'm actually pretty surprised myself, like how I got out there. I thought it was just, oh, it's just on the wall, no big deal. But now I'm kind of amazed that it got attention.
It's kind of surreal that it's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good feeling, isn't it? You know?
Oh yeah, it is.
So how long did this mural take to make?
Approximately 5 days. I don't really count all my hours by listing and rewarding and all of it. I just started when pretty late on it, the extended deadline, and I just thought, okay, let me just put some stuff together, and I took all-nighters, just start drawing until it's completed, and when I finished by like the exact deadline, so
you did it all the way through?
Yeah, and I had time to edit it later on because there was other stages throughout the contest, so.
Oh, let's see. So what was the inspiration for the piece?
The inspiration was to include UNLV's sort of message when aligning with the Black Lives Matter movement. And the message was to have inclusion and to include multiple races, and think, what can everyone do to help out this movement? So I honestly just researched and found other stories of victims, and it kind of inspired me more to make something more powerful, because I wanted to send a message to everyone, like all the victim families and everyone watching this, to think, let's get stronger and let's not back down from this and protest. So,
man, your work hanging on campus, when you see it up there and you see it every day, is that something that you told your mother and your family about, something to be proud of?
I mean, usually I back around from other people. Like the first time I get excited, I'm like, oh Mom, look, I have this. And then usually I don't talk about it any other time. I'm just, pretty embarrassing, because it's my own sort of form of art up there. So, but I do feel that I'm making them proud from doing these sort of things. So
yeah, you should. That was a beautiful piece. It was beautiful, man. So are there other pieces similar or other works of art you're currently working on right now, other projects?
Oh, there's a ton of stuff I'm working on because I have many art classes, but I used to just do cartoons and things, but now I'm actually considering doing things to make people feel better about themselves later and about other events in the world. So
excellent. Thank you for your piece, and thank you for why you put it up there.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything, and thank you for sharing your story with us here on Studio G. We'll be right back after this break.
NDOT's top priority is keeping you safe and connected. One of the many ways we strive to keep you safe is by taking an active role with improving the quality of stormwater runoff entering our waterways from our roads and highways. From constructing and maintaining roads to monitoring our waterways, NDOT's dedicated environmental professionals are focused on reducing the impact of our projects on our environment. We do our very best to preserve Nevada's waters for future generations.
This is a storm drain. It collects stormwater. Grass clippings, fertilizer, yard waste, they all contaminate our stormwater. Litter, pet waste, they also contaminate it. Fluids from leaking vehicles run right in there. All stormwater goes untreated directly to our local waterways. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains and out of our waters.
Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations. Visit loveandbewaters.com.
With the first round and all its pregnancy, drama, and intrigue this year, and year's first draft will be full of top-notch talent. Guys like take OTS Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, and the linebacker Micah Parsons. The draft will last from Thursday, the 29th, to Saturday, May 1st. In other NFL news, wide receiver Antonio Brown has re-signed with the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brown signed 1 year and could be worth $6.25 million with a $2 million signing bonus. The world of basketball is stirring some controversy as Julius Erving, better known as Dr. J, excluded LeBron James from his top 10 all-time list, rationale from keeping the three-time NBA champion off the list is due to him being the guy who led the charge of super teams. This has sparked a trend on Twitter for basketball fans to rank their own super team. In some international sports, Lions women's soccer team hired their female head coach yesterday. Coach John Vasher partnered with Ways with the team after their loss in Women's Champions League quarterfinals. Sonia Bompastor, a former midfielder and defender for 6 seasons, is signed through June of 2023. Lastly, Floyd Mayweather and controversial fighter Logan Paul have agreed to fight at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, Sunday, June 6th. Check back tomorrow for more updates on news in the sports world.
Before we go, April 28th is National Superhero Day. Today we're celebrating every type of superhero, frontliners like medical professionals and firefighters.
Of course, we're also celebrating comic book superheroes.
I have to say, before you say anything, my favorite superhero right now is Spider-Man from the Avengers, only because Tom Holland, he is so cute. What about you? What's your favorite superhero?
I'm a Batman guy.
Batman?
Yeah, and if we're talking movies, I like Batfleck. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I like it.
Oh, yeah, and with Disney Plus, all these new superhero movies are coming out, so I'm excited. Loki's coming out soon. I'm so excited for those new shows, and they're so good. Anyway, that's all we have for today. I'm Valentina Menchikov.
And I'm Jerron Turner. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in tomorrow at noon.